in Sacramento. The first Game 7 at home for the Kings since 2002.
What happened then?
Against the
the Lakers bought their own referees?
112-106 in overtime.
They bought their own
No,
referees.
they didn't. Shakovic just tucked that elbow in. Can't tell me you're going to foul me. I ain't going to miss them all, dummy.
But
Did you see Shaq last night on TNT when Barkley brought up the 2002 Western Conference Finals? he got upset fast.
106 in overtime.
They bought their own
No, they
referees.
didn't, dummy.
Look, Shaq, you're a TV personality. Show a sense of humor, come up with a creative comeback, but this was just like straight up childish, overly sensitive. No, it wasn't. No, we didn't. No, we didn't.
Dummy.
And there's a good reason for it. It's maybe the most blatantly obvious rigging of a Western Conference Finals or a sports event, period, that I've ever seen. I was actually in the Condor on Broadway in San Francisco in 2002 watching this game live on the big screens. And for some reason, there were all these LA people in town, all these, fickle, fair weather, fake LA fans. And, when Kobe broke Bibby's nose and Bibby got called for the foul, they were all cheering and going, boo-hoo, Bibby, cry baby. You're not allowed to fucking lead with your elbow and break people's noses. Dear Shaq, no, there's no way you fouled out 3 or 4 people in one game. I mean, it's not enough that Shaq was a dinosaur amongst Homo sapiens out there. I mean, just an absolute behemoth of a human being. They weren't allowed to touch him. As if Shaq's size wasn't advantage enough. Could not touch him. Could not touch him.
85, Lakers.
In fact, they weren't allowed to be touched by Shaq as Shaq was making his moves. It was just absurd. Just absurd. One more thing. Listen to the audio. Listen to the announcers trying to justify this.
He puts it up too soon, and that's always going to get the call against him. If you put those arms up too soon, the referees realize.
I can't even wrap my head around what they're saying. I looked it up. I've never heard of it, but I looked it up anyway. Couldn't find it, of course. Someone explained to me what they're trying to say. You can't put your arms up too early. You can't, as a defender, you can't just have your arms up. What the hell are they talking about? I don't know how Scott Pollard can breathe. His sternum has to be collapsed to this day from Shaq hitting him in the chest.
Shakovic just tucked that elbow in.
As far as Shaq's I tucked in the elbow explanation, Shaq committed a lane violation on all 17 free throws. I know the NBA doesn't call lane violations that much, but on the shooter, they pay a little more attention. And 17 times to get that call right? Not once? Do you remember when Chris Webber was on that show? He was on Inside the NBA, TNT, for a while. I just felt bad for him being up there the whole time, having to bite his tongue while Shaq would talk trash and talk about his championships. And poor Webber's just sitting there thinking, you cheating piece of shit. You stole from me, and I'm not even allowed to talk about it. I mean, it's one thing that we sit on this panel together and I have to, just be peaceful, but you sit up here and talk shit about something that you won via cheating. You robbed from me via cheating because the Lakers went on and swept the Nets. I would think that the Kings also would have handled the Nets. And then the confirmation of Tim Donaghy, the prosecution, the conviction, Tim Donaghy. Does that make me feel better? No. Did it change anything? Did they take away the championship? I mean, he didn't need to find out. He didn't need Tim Donaghy to officially be guilty to see what happened any more than you have to see with your own eyes what's happening with LeBron James today. for it to be true. You just have to not live in denial. One more note on that series that I would like to express here and get your feedback on. The series should have been over before all that crap went down. You remember, of course, Divot's tipping it out and Ori making that massive shot. Well, the Kings were up big time in that game going into the fourth. And for some reason, they allowed Kobe to come across and start just dropping threes, like three-pointer after three-pointer after three-pointer. I've got to rip on Edelman for that. I mean, you have a big lead and time is running out. Send them to the free throw line. Force the 2-point shots. Why on earth would you allow someone to come down and repeatedly make 3-pointers? The only way the other team could possibly get back within striking range. Do some coaching. Do some fucking coaching. I mean, it took me a decade to recover from that, and I'm not even a Kings fan. I don't hate the Kings. They were a really fun team to watch that year. But to see that happen, I hate LeBron James, and I've got a lot of Kobe people on here because you're not happy with LeBron coming and tarnishing the Lakers' legacy. So I might lose a few of you on this, but as bad as LeBron is, I don't think I've ever seen refs help out another team win quite to that extent to this day, even including the 2016 NBA Finals, even including all of Italy's World Cups. I quit on basketball back then. It took me a long time to even start watching again. I quit again in 2016, and it took me a long time. Okay, these are all lies. I'm still always watching, but I'm watching in fear and in pain. Who feels me on this? Do you feel my pain? Anyone agree?
Shakovic just tucked that elbow in, dummy.